Welcome to the Breakup Recovery Podcasts by your host, Barbara Stevens. Discover the wisdom and remarkable insights of Barbara Stevens, breakup recovery mentor, author, and public speaker. Barbara offers programs and solutions for any breakup so you can turn your life around, create lasting changes for the better, and embrace life again.
Hello and welcome to Breakup Recovery Podcast. I'm Barbara Stevens, your host. This is episode number 047, Overcoming an Abusive Relationship. Working out whether you're in or have been in an abusive relationship isn't always easy. It can be hard to know if you're being abused. Everyone tells you should know the signs. But what are the signs? So let's first explore what it means to be in an abusive relationship. There is a common misconception that an abusive relationship must have a physical and violent element to it, being hit or shoved, broken bones, black eyes, things like that. Yes, this is an abusive relationship, but there can be other parts to an abusive relationship that include sexual, mental, and emotional aspects, and also less obvious ones involving control of all things, like the finances, where you go, what you do, and who you see. The abuse can be in your face or underhanded and subtle. You can feel like you're walking on eggshells all the time, with your partner using intimidation, shaming, and manipulation to control you. Often, you don't see the mistreatment as abusive. You develop coping mechanisms of denial and minimizing their behavior in order to deal with the stress. But the effects of long-term emotional abuse can cause severe emotional trauma, including depression, anxiety, and post-traumatic stress disorder. So what are the signs you should be looking for so that you know you are in or still are in an abusive relationship? Did your partner get jealous easily, accusing you without good reason of being unfaithful or flirting, isolating you from family and friends, often by rude behavior, demanding you spend time with them, or doing activities elsewhere, making it difficult to maintain these relationships? Were they possessive, checking on you all the time to see where you are, what you are doing, and who you're with? Constant calling or texting when you are not with them? Trying to control where you go and who you see? Did you feel like you needed permission from them to make decisions or to go out somewhere? Did they get angry if you didn't do what they said? Did they try and control the finances and how you spent the money? Did your partner threaten violence against you, your pets, or people you love? Did they make you feel scared by yelling, sulking, and deliberately breaking things that you value? Did they make subtle threats or negative remarks with the intent to frighten or control you? Did they threaten to commit suicide if you were ever to leave them? Did your partner insult you? Were they constantly putting you down, either publicly or privately, by attacking your intelligence, your looks, mental health, or capacities? Did they say things like, "No one else will want you," or constantly comparing you unfavorably with others, making mean jokes, or constantly making fun of you? Did they demean or disregard your opinions, ideas, suggestions, or needs? Did they belittle or trivialize you, your accomplishments, or your hopes and dreams? Did they try to make you feel as though they were always right and you were wrong? Did your partner make you feel confused or like you're going crazy, and therefore you would second guess all your thoughts and decisions? Did they send you on a guilt trip, blaming you for all the problems in the relationship and for all the times they were out of control or violent? Were they constantly making excuses for their behavior, or trying to blame yourself or others for their problems, life's difficulties, or their unhappiness? Did they have difficulty apologizing after their rants or abusive behavior? Did they play the victim and try to deflect blame to you rather than taking personal responsibility? Were they good at humiliating or embarrassing you? Did they use sarcasm and unpleasant tone of voice and making everything your fault? Did you feel that their moods were extreme? Did they accuse you of being too sensitive in order to deflect their abusive remarks? Did you feel that they didn't seem to notice or care about your feelings? Did they use physical or sexual violence like pushing, shoving, hitting, grabbing, making you have sex or do things you didn't want to do? Did they have extramarital affairs or use provocative behavior with the opposite sex, like flirting? Was there a withdrawal of affection to get attention or attain what they want? Did they withhold sex as a way to manipulate and control you? Were they emotionally distant or emotionally unavailable most of the time? Did some of their conversations start with, "I love you, but..." That may sound nice at first, yet it is both a disguised criticism and a threat. It indicates, "I love you now, but if you don't stop doing this or that, my love will be taken away." Have you found yourself saying things like, "My partner isn't violent all of the time. He loves me. Things will get better. They don't mean it. It's so confusing. I'm sure it's a one-off. Maybe it's my fault. And I'm scared of what will happen if I leave them." All of these things, these signs, these behaviours I've just mentioned are considered to be a form of abuse if they are a constant in your life. No one deserves to be in a relationship where they don't feel safe. Good relationships don't make you feel this way. The first step is to leave the relationship and get your power back. And if you don't do this and continue living in an abusive relationship, the stress of emotional abuse will eventually catch up with you in the form of illness, emotional trauma, depression, or anxiety. It's time to take care of yourself and put your needs first. Thinking that abusive behaviour is your fault is a common feeling, but it's important to know that you're never to blame for another person's behaviour. Abusers are expert manipulators, with a knack of getting you to believe that the way you are being treated is your fault. These people know that everyone has insecurities, and they use those insecurities against you. Living in an abusive relationship slowly strips away your self-esteem. You feel helpless and possibly hopeless. It's time to regain the power over your life and begin to heal. So there are a number of ways to do this after your breakup. And it's important to remember that you are not to blame. It's not your fault. If you've been entrenched in an abusive relationship for a while, your self-worth, your trust in yourself and others is eroded. You start to feel like something must be wrong with you, since the other person treats you so poorly. It's not okay to be treated this way. Begin to acknowledge to yourself that it is not your fault for their behaviour. This is the first step towards rebuilding your self-esteem. It's important to realise that you can't fix them. You cannot change the way they treat you and others. They are the only ones who can do this. It's also important that you no longer agree with their excuses for why they have done what they have done. Sure, they may have had a difficult upbringing, or they drink too much, they have a stressful job, or they can't control their anger. But the thing is, they can. It's their choice as to how they treat you and anyone else in their lives. And you can survive without them. It's time to let go of this abusive behaviour. Seeking support from family and friends and someone who will not judge you is a great place to start. Talking out aloud what's going on in your head and explaining it to someone else even if you think it doesn't make sense, helps you to clarify the things that are worrying you and how you are going to deal with things. It might be easier to open up to a counsellor that is experienced in helping people with similar circumstances. This may be an option that you might consider to help you put things into perspective, learn coping strategies, and to help you to move forward. If for some reason that you have to have contact with your ex-partner, it might be due to parenting situations where you have to drop off the children and pick them up, or attend functions relating to the children. Set some firm boundaries of behaviour that you will and will not accept. So to do this, you need to be very clear and honest with yourself first. What are your goals? What do you need for this relationship to be amicable? What is going to be acceptable to you? And what do you need for you to be able to move forward? Let them know and make it clear that you are no longer willing to engage, talk about, or listen to their criticisms or attack of or about you. Let them know what you can and can't do for them, what behaviour is okay and what is not, what crosses the line, what can and can't be done. Whatever you do, do not be intimidated by them. It's critical to explain what are the consequences if those boundaries are crossed by them, and crossing them will not be acceptable to you. With this, you must be consistent and enforce the boundaries, and in doing so, you will regain your power. You deserve better. You deserve to be safe and respected, and you deserve real love, not control. Now is the time to focus on self-care. Focus on the things that make you happy and the things that you care about and bring joy into your life. Activities that will bring back stability and a feeling of safety into your life. Surround yourself with people that love and support you. It's about restoring relationships that may have been lost through the isolation brought about by your ex-partner. By connecting with others and being around loving, supportive people will help you regain your self-worth and positive feelings about yourself. Choose positive self-talk. It's important to check what your self-talk is. So often your daily thoughts can be negative and disruptive, like I'm not good enough, I can't do this or that, I'm unattractive. These statements certainly do not serve you in a positive way. The more you believe in yourself, the easier it will be for you to be able to take back the control that you feel you have lost or has been taken away from you. Thinking about your abusive relationship keeps you stuck in the past and prevents you from moving forward. If you are worried that you might be attracted to the same personality type next time around, write down all the traits and behaviours that your ex-partner had, all the characteristics and things that contributed to their actions. Keep this list handy, and when you find that you are falling for another person, pull that list out and go through it. Make sure there is a huge difference to their actions, mannerisms, and habits to your ex-partner. Make a commitment to yourself that you will only be in a relationship where you are equals, where you are loved and cherished and treated the way you deserve to be treated. What are you going to choose today and from now on? Will you choose to wake up in the morning and be kind and compassionate to yourself? Will you choose to be mindful or to say positive things about yourself? And these could include mantras that will keep you on track. If you do this each day, you will feel stronger. Sure, some days you might fall back into your old habit of negative self-talk, but you can always return to your new and positive way of thinking. You can always come back to it. No one else is in charge of your life but you. The more you maintain positive self-talk, the stronger you will become. If you feel that you are still struggling with your breakup, if you are experiencing intense feelings of anger, resentment, and bitterness, and it is taking over your life, I'm here to help you in this area of moving on and coping after your breakup. I work with my clients one-on-one through my 12 Inspirational Step program. If you want to learn more about how we can work together, contact me via email or my Facebook page, Barbara Stevens Breakup Recovery Mentor, and book in for my free 30-minute sounding board session, and we can set up a time that suits. In this free session, you will walk away with clarity about your situation, strategies and tools to start building the future you deserve, so together we can start your journey of recovery. All my information is on my website, www.barbarastevens.com.au. When you are on the website, take the opportunity to download for free my 3 easy steps to surviving your breakup. It's on the right-hand side of the front page. I also have loads of free content on there, webinars that I have done and my previous podcasts. If you don't want to miss an episode of Breakup Recovery Podcast, subscribe on iTunes, and I would appreciate it if you could take the time to leave a review. Also, feel free to message me with any questions that you have about Breakup Recovery Podcasts or subjects you want me to cover in future podcast episodes by clicking on the contact button on my webpage or Facebook. I'm always looking for ways to help you recover from your breakup. And the last thing I'd like to say is, be gentle on yourself. You deserve happiness.
If you would like to hear previous Breakup Recovery podcasts, visit barbarastevens.com.au. Connect with Barbara Stevens on social media with Barbara Stevens Breakup Recovery Mentor on Facebook and at You'll Be Okay on Twitter. Read further blogs, view webinar replays, and download your free ebook, 3 Easy Steps to Surviving Your Breakup, and much more at barbarastevens.com.au.